One thing Trinidad is doing is selling out its farmers and its food. Let's talk about that for a second. NYU research now shows that every 30 minutes, a farmer in India, where GMOs have all but completely taken over, commits suicide. Whether this is true or not, we will leave up to you. But we ask the question, is this what we have waiting for our country's farmers too? Who is the real builder, the real foundation of this country? Could that be the very much overlooked farmer? Now we keep saying that they were the foundation of the country, but let's look at some numbers to prove this point. Express newspapers' Richard Charan reported on our historic past of agricultural farming and production of food. Food which we exported and which gave us an amazing sustainable wealth. I don't think we understand just how much food Trinidad used to produce. Healthy food too. He reports that around 1953 to 1954, we had sugar estates producing cane on a whopping 36,000 acres of land. We had an abundance of farmers. Farming was at the very least one of the main employments in our country. We had 13,000 acres of citrus, which made about 400,000 crates. No importing from Belize here, my friends. And we exported about 45,000 stems of bananas. That's a whole lot of bananas. We devoted 18,000 acres to rice production alone. We had 280 mills which produced an excellent 12 tons of rice. No importing from Guyana, my friends. We had 40,000 acres of coconut and 21 tons of its dried insides called copra, which is used to make coconut oil, and that is an integral part of any human being's life today. Do we understand just how many uses coconut oil has? And all of this was valued at 1.8 million TT dollars. Back then, in those early days, imagine how much it would be worth now. We even had 120,000 acres of cocoa trees, which made cocoa beans, of course, and that is extremely healthy and utilized worldwide. We produced over 22 million pounds of it. How could a small island do that? I will tell you how. It's because we were meant to do it. We was born for this. It's in our blood. It's in our culture. It's agriculture. And our related livestock farming had nearly 38,000 cattle and 3,000 water buffaloes. Could it be that this thing called farming is not just a job that some may and may not do, but actually something that we need here in Trinidad and cannot live without? We ask you, does the farmer need the city life? No. But does the city life with its groceries need the farmer? I believe you will agree when we say yes. Now, speaking of food production, Trinidad seems to be progressing towards a different diet. But does that mean a better diet? Sure, we have more and more fast food restaurants popping up one after the other, which we feel so proud of. But how much good are these places doing our health? Trinidad has been voted, wait for it, the 4th fattest nation in the world. What does that tell us? In short-term thinking, many of us are grateful it provides employment, right? Restaurants do provide employment, but is it doing us much good long-term? Let us look at it. They are minimum wage jobs with a high rate of injury or victims of crime. They have poor and unclean working conditions. And they have no kind of healthcare or job security. All of these work together to show that it feeds on the powerless employees rather than empowering them. Which would you rather? Tell us now, viewer. A veggie and fruit combo to eat, free of all pesticide and preservative, Or would you like a burger whose meat often have loads of feces sprayed on it from the intestines of the cows during the killing process? Feces that can carry E. coli, where nasty strains of the E. coli bacteria cause extreme vomiting, and the much loved diarrhea. Is it true that as of March 2012, Obama says Pepsi is just doing an ordinary business operation by including aborted fetuses in their ingredients? Please, Trinidad, look it up and prove to us we are wrong. Maybe we are insane, but is it wrong to question? Let us compare this new modern diet, which we are force-fed because of the lack of affordable healthy meals, to the authentic, original diet of our forefathers. Could it be that the more toxic a product is, the more addictive it is? Let us examine ourselves, Trinidad. Why do we continue to consume? I know. Time. Who has time to prepare food when you must chase after the almighty dollar in this day and age so tirelessly? I cannot blame you. I miss several days of food just because of how hard I must work, and I'm sure many of you do too. But could the convenience of fast food restaurants actually be a trap that kills us in the long run? I know. After a full day's work and sitting in traffic for 2 hours, who would take the time to cook food? This documentary has no intentions of making you, the viewer, feel guilty about any of these actions you take. Basically, what we want to do is we want you to see why they happen, and more importantly, what is prolonged because of the actions that we take in our everyday lives. We are all in a deadly cycle of either laziness or overwork, but only we can truly judge for ourselves right over wrong. Now, there is no drive-through for healthy foods yet, but perhaps we, the citizens, can change that.